exclusively domestic. Our international business out of Singapore flies to India, to China, to the Philippines, Thailand, Indonesia, Vietnam.
Okay, and when was that founded? When did it start?
2004.
Okay. Can I just ask you, being a new airline, especially domestically in Australia, have you come up against, I suppose what I would term perception issues as a new airline? Obviously in this country we've seen some airlines come and go. What sort of perception issues have you come up against, if any, and how have you dealt with it?
Perhaps I'll hand over to you.
Yeah, I think it's quite interesting in terms of the perception of this airline amongst the community, particularly, is that we've brought great competition to this country. We offer great fares. I talk to our customers and on a regular basis, and they said before it was nothing like this. We can go places more often. We can go and follow our footy team. We can go see our friends. We are great. We are great for the industry. We're great for them. So from a consumer point of view, I think it's a very positive message. We're a very well known carrier for many reasons. Not least of all the programme that aired a couple of years ago and is about to air again. So we're very, very well known. I think in terms of there's a lot of interest in the aviation, and many things are exaggerated, and as we well know in terms of some of the press coverage that we get. The vast majority of our customers actually fly on time in Tiger Airways. The very vast majority of our customers have a great experience in Tiger Airways.
Maybe I could just add, in terms of setting up the business here, there was some trepidation because of the history that you alluded to, that most startup airlines in Australia have failed. I think we have to be mindful that aviation in Australia has been a duopoly for many, many, many years, maybe too many years. That the infrastructure that exists is very much under the control of the dominant carrier, under Qantas. When we first started up the business, there were airports that we wanted to fly to which we weren't able to get access to handling services, or even when we had to use some of the other airlines for security screening and things like that. So I think it's fair to say that breaking the duopoly, if you like, is tough. And I think we knew when we started the business it was going to be a difficult business to launch, and that we would face a lot of stiff competition from the incumbent airlines. But I think we've persevered, and we've built a business now that we think is sustainable, that we're confident can be successful. As Crawford said, we think it's in the consumer's interest to have competition in Australia. I think senators would appreciate that if Tiger were to withdraw from the market, it's fairly obvious that airfares would go back, and the airfare reductions that we've seen over the last few years would be eliminated. But I have to be clear and say, with one airline controlling 2/3 of the market, it's clearly tough to carve out enough market share and get enough patronage from consumers to make it successful. And that is a tough job, but that's what we're working on doing.
Okay. Can I just go back to the fatigue issue? And I think Mr. Berry raised a very good point. How, as an airline, do you manage the measurement of fatigue, sort of the roster system, compared to externalities of pilots and cabin crew behaviour? How, as an airline, do you measure the difference of those things and the impact?
Well, I think that is the next stage, if you like, in the development of fatigue. Historically, the view has been that we, as the airline, roster you in a fair way, and you have an obligation as an individual to make the best use of the leisure time that we provide you, to come to work and ensuring that you're sufficiently rested. And so, when I was referring to Xenophon's question earlier on, that we can traditionally, within the fatigue management models, they're only looking at the work side of your life, and so would like to move ourselves to the state of the art position, if you like, which is to be considering how your general lifestyle it impacts you in terms of fatigue. And so the 3-year-old twins situation is something that other airlines do look at. NASA consider it. And so there are those models, and that research has been done in the market, and so that's a place that we'd like to move ourselves to.
And I suppose from the airline perspective, that would seem quite sensible, wouldn't it? Because the external factors may well be the things that are causing the fatigue, but the reflection may possibly be that it's the airline practice. So getting that right is obviously pivotal for the airline.
And I think that we would look, if we look into the reports that we have of fatigue, the number of the reports don't say that my roster was too challenging. Somebody just says I was rostered for a night flight. I simply wasn't able to sleep for reasons domestic reasons. I'm therefore not in a condition to operate the flight. And but we have those reports within our system, so it is a real issue and something that with which we do deal.
Thank you. And just finally, because I know we're due to break, Chair, how many pilots do you employ? Sorry, domestically in Australia.
At this particular moment in time, it's about 97, but the establishment is 103.
Okay. And of that, do you have a ballpark figure of retention rates? How many pilot movements, I guess, have you had since 2007 leaving the airline? I'm happy for you to take that on notice.
I can take it on notice. I would take it on notice, but
very few.
I would comment that it's a small number.
Very few is good. If you take that on notice, that would be great. Thanks. Thanks, Chair.
One question and one comment, and we'll knock off for 15 minutes. The drug and alcohol testing conducted by CASA, what's your experience of that?
In terms of, CASA have come to our business on a number of occasions. It's an open door that they come and they will do that. In my time, I've been here just a year next week. They've tested a number of times. I don't know if it'd be appropriate to say what the outcomes were, but the outcome was very small.
I'm not suggesting.
But they have tested.
Just that there is.
They have tested.
For the public safety, we're aware of this. Yeah. So finally, the ultimate test for you blokes is: do you still barrack for the Lions?
I'm sorry, say again.
Do you still barrack for the Lions in the footy?
For me, I don't say. I mean, it's very dangerous in this country to say which my team is.
We have the Wallabies.
That's probably the only one.
You don't have to answer that. Can I thank you very much for your evidence today, and we'll knock off for 15 minutes. We're back in 15 minutes.
Thank you. Thank you.